Hey Blue Rockers, welcome to Blue Rock Talk with CryptoConnie and BitShares Now. We've got some really neat things going on. Hopefully you guys are sticking with this and learning with me so that we can know what to do to get into this digital world and of money, and also some of the strategies behind it, where to go, where not to go, what to do, what not to do. Please like the videos if you like them. Please subscribe to me if you haven't already. Please comment as well and let me know what you're looking at, what you're thinking about. That way I can do another show possibly on what you're talking about. Maybe I can also get people to take a look at those comments too and answer them if that's something I can't do. But again, maybe we can make a video out of it as well. And please share this with other people. Let's get these subscribers up and let's get this going. And please be sure to follow me on STEEM, folks. If you're doing all this Facebook stuff and all this tweeting and all this Instagram and all this YouTube, I'm doing the YouTube too. But if you want to make money for all your content and you want to make that happen pretty quickly, and you also want to, if you sit around and like people's comment all the time, why don't you get paid for it? They call it an upvote on steemit.com. So take a look at the description below. You're going to see my link. Go there, sign up. It's going to take you maybe a couple days before they approve you, maybe longer, whatever it is. Hang in there, and then make sure you follow me. Let me know that you're there as a Blue Rocker. I'll follow you, and then we follow each other's comment, and we upvote, and we talk and comment, and we make some money. And it's as simple as that. And it's what you're already doing now, but you're going to make some money. So let's get back to the godfather of BitShares. Talk to Stan Larimer. Stan, you're on STEEMit, and you're making some good money. I love when you upvote me. I love when you re-steam me. I see a nice little jump, and it just makes me feel good to post something and then see money coming in. So I appreciate that you're on there too. And Blue Rockers, when you come on, you make sure you follow Stan as well. And if you mention that you're a Blue Rocker, I'm sure Stan will turn around and follow you as well. It's kind of what you do, right? It's a kind of a courtesy thing, isn't it, Stan?
Well, it's good to make friends on a social media network. And, friends look out for each other and help each other. And one of the things you can do is help promote each other's work so other people can find out about it. That's how you followers. Initially, when you start out on STEEMit, you don't know anybody. And so how do people even discover your work? Well, if you got some friends who call attention to it, then that gets you some of your own followers, and they tell others, and over time you build up a following of people who like what you're doing and look forward to it. And then you go ahead and you can count when you publish something on having a few votes right off the bat. And it's something that takes time to build up, like any business.
And you can do it because it's great work. It's great work. So those of you Blue Rockers out there, that's what I want you to do. I want to get the Blue Rockers out there and my friends to go and follow and join, and because you're going to love that you can make some money. So that's about STEEMit. We'll have more videos on that. You can go ahead and check here. Sorry about that. I got to get the hair out of the way. But those of you here on CryptoConnie, check the playlist. You'll see some other videos here that talk about STEEMit. But what we want to talk about today with Stan, while we have him, is ICOs. What is that?
Well, it stands for Initial Coin Offering, and it's sort of reminiscent of an IPO, Initial Public Offering, which, big companies, when they get big enough to actually go public, they offer stock to the public after complying with all the rules, and now the stock starts trading on the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ or whatever. An ICO is when you offer your coin to the public. You put it up for sale, and there's different strategies for offering a little bit at a time in different ways, always trying to maximize what people are willing to pay for it. If you dump a whole bunch of it onto the market all at once, well, it's cheap, so why should I pay a lot for it? There's tons of it out there, so you don't make much. But if you stretch it out, sell a little bit every day, somebody comes by to buy it, maybe they'll pay a little higher price. So there's all kinds of strategies that people have for how to put coins into circulation. Now, it wasn't always like this. Back in the early days, in the late Paleozoic era of Bitcoin, somewhere around 2009 or so, it was actually verboten to sell coins into circulation because the philosophy was that everybody should have a fair chance to mine them. And so there was essentially a lottery. Everybody got their little computer and they downloaded their wallet and they turned it on and they let it run all day and all night. And they'd go check their wallet the next day. Oh, look, I got a couple Bitcoin. And that was a way to fairly distribute the coin. And when other people came along and offered coins and they said, well, I'm going to let you mine them, but I'm going to keep 10% of them for myself, because after all, I did the work to start this thing, people would boo and hiss and say, that's a pre-mine, that's cheating. You kept some for yourself. And so it became a really bad stigma to do a pre-mine or to keep some for yourself that you could turn around and sell. Everything had to be done through this mining type lottery. And that went on for a few years. It was true in 2013 when Dan set out to do BitShares. And so BitShares started out with the same kind of mining strategy. But the whole time that was happening, we were appalled at the thought that what did that really mean now that we were several years into Bitcoin? It wasn't a fair lottery for people. There were just a few companies running big mining pools where they had warehouses full of computers, and they were sucking up all the coins and then they were reselling them. And we said, hey, wait a minute, everybody, this doesn't make sense. Why is it okay for a few companies to do all the mining, suck up all the supply, and sell it? Why can't the original developers sell it into the market and therefore have some money to pay for the work that they did and to keep on maintaining it? And boy, was that a hard sell for the industry, because everybody had been brainwashed about Satoshi's original idea that mining was the only fair way to do it, and they somehow lost the fact that Bitcoin was no longer fair in any way because a few big companies were doing it all. So BitShares was very influential in convincing people that they ought to be able to sell coins themselves rather than put them out there for the miners to steal all of them and then sell them and collect all the pay, or actually waste most of it by paying for electricity to run the mining things. And they make a little bit of profit. Why not just do a initial coin offering, put them up for sale, and with the money you raise, you could continue to do work on the project. And so that has, in the past year or so, gotten to be a very common way. Everybody now does it that way, right? There's still some coins that use mining, but a whole large new industry has come out of coins that come along and put out a white paper that's just a little document that describes what's special about the coin. Why would you want it? And then they have a offering where people can go buy those coins, and that's how they get into circulation. And the people that offer it get a little pile of money for whatever it is they say it's for. It could be, hey, I want to use this to buy a yacht and retire.
Sounds good.
And if people will say, well, yeah, I want some of those coins where the developers are going to go away and not do anything, yeah, that's a good idea. There's a lot of stupid offerings like that out there right now, where people say, well, you know, I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, but this is a good coin. Or we've had celebrities, really famous celebrities, tweet, hey, I'm going to make $1 million with this new coin. And people go buy the coin because it's named after the celebrity.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And so ICOs have kind of gotten a bad name. They're a really good idea that has recently become to be abused by people who have no intention of ever delivering anything for it, but are just telling a good story to get foolish people to spend their money on it. And there's a lot of foolish people with money who own Bitcoin or one of the other leading currencies that grew a lot, and so they got rich because they were in the right place at the right time. Mm-hmm. So they've got a lot of coins, and now they think they're good investors, and they're spreading their money around on coins without doing the research to understand,
right.
is the coin any good?
Right.
What you ought to do if you're thinking about buying a coin is read the white paper, understand it, and then look into who's behind it. Mm-hmm. Do they even tell you what their name is? Can you call them up and talk to them? Do they have a good team? Have they ever done a project before? What's their track record? There's a lot of coins out there that have really well-respected developers. They show up at conferences. They give speeches. They write articles. They're doing interviews so people can get to know them and understand them. And now they have some confidence that that is a good thing to do. There's another category of these coins, because they can be all kinds. I could offer a coin and tell you that, for every coin that I sell, I will buy an ounce of gold and I'll lock it up in my basement. Okay? And if you trust me to keep it in my basement and I won't get robbed, and it's really going to be there, maybe you'll want to give me some money to buy gold to put in my basement so you can get it back someday soon. There are other companies that do that same thing, and they say, I've hired Brinks as the company that's going to store all my gold, and I've hired Lloyd's of London to insure it, and here are the gold certificates, and here's the third-party witness that checks on it every so often, and they go to the effort of providing you really solid assurances that there is gold in a real vault insured by a real big name company, and they've done everything that's legally required in order to offer that. And that would be a much better coin to buy if you wanted to have something that tracked the value of an ounce of gold. There's another category that are securities. Securities are like ownership in a company. And there's a clear definition of what constitutes to be a security. It's something that people invest in with in a common enterprise like a company with an expectation of growth and profits. And if you're investing in a company and expecting profits, that's a security. It's well defined, and there's things you're required to do. You have to get a license to have that security with the government where you're residing. If you are going to do it in the Cayman Islands and sell it to Americans, guess what? You've got to comply with American law if you're selling to Americans. And a whole lot of these ICOs out there went out and did that. They sold shares in a new company. It could have been a good company, a company that says, we're going to invent anti-gravity and we'll make a gazillion bucks.
Cool.
Coins.
Cool. I like that.
Okay. But there are other things that said, we've got this really good idea for the new software product, and it's going to do all kinds of things that have never been done before, and you can watch us develop it right here on this software library, and you can see every day what software we're developing, and you can talk to our developers, and they do all that right, but they still sell shares in their company without a license, and that's illegal. And so what could happen to you if you invest in one of those that aren't properly licensed? Well, the government could come along and shut it down. Right? And they could say to the people, refund all your money. And they would say, well, we've spent it all on partying and buying a fancy office and hiring a bunch of high-priced people, and we blew through most of it. We can't give it all back. Well, guess what? They go to jail, and you don't get your money back.
Right.
So all of that is out there brewing around in a stew, and it's going to come to a head in the coming 6 months as the government finally puts its foot down. And it's not just one government. Each government is reacting differently. China has its rules. U.S. has its. Europe has its. There are the correct ways to do it, and it's not hard to do it right. Okay, so if you're going to do something like that, I suggest you get into contact with companies that know how to do it right, that have the lawyers that can advise you on that. One of them that we're aware of is Stokens.com, and they have a process for taking your company public through a series of steps that were defined by the U.S. government in something called the Jobs Act, which told the proper way to get the right licenses, to start out by selling to only certified investors, people who have a high net worth and can supposedly take the risks or hire lawyers to help them. You can't start out selling to ordinary people because They're too easy to take advantage of. The government won't allow that. But there are ways after you've gone through the right processes and have everything checked where you can get told you can go out and sell to the general public. So the tokens model, which a few other companies are starting to adopt too, is to do it right. Admit you're a security and do it. And then there's a token exchange self-regulating body, txsrb.org, which is a group of people that are trying to work with government authorities to define what the rules should be for cryptocurrency communities and what's different about them and what's the same as ordinary securities. And so you can go to those two websites and learn all about how to do it right. And so we're going to see the industry splitting into two different kinds of coins, illegal coins and legal coins, right? And so if you start getting into this arena, that's another thing you should pay attention to. What did they do when they're offering a new coin? And is it a legal coin or not? So lots of exciting things that you can invest in, neat companies of all types.
Oh my gosh, it just keeps, there's just so much. Oh my gosh, and I have so many Blue Rockers telling me, that it's new to them too, just like me, and it's, we're just trying to wrap our heads around it, and you are just this wealth of knowledge, which is great, but I do have to listen to these same shows over and over and over again just to get it. And I know I ask you, I'll call you up, hey Stan, what do I do now? What do I do? Let me write it down,
Well, you're doing a great service for the community by capturing all of this and asking all the tough questions and getting it out there so people do have something that they can look at and study. And, not every coin is for every person, but what a wonderful new way to stimulate the economy with new possibilities.
Absolutely.
And if it's something you're interested in, then, dig into it. And if you just want to send a check to somebody, then get yourself a nice stable coin like a Hero. Use it as a checking account that pays 5% interest, and go ahead and just do that and don't worry about the rest.
I tell you, I love it all because it's fun. It's, Blue Rock Talk is all about Earth's most interesting conversations, people, places, and things. And this is as interesting as you can get. Currency, we have to have currency. It's what makes the world go round. I want to say it's love, and I believe that, but, this planet Earth, has the currency. We have to trade off for things for whatever reason. We have to owe people and give back and stuff. But, so it's very interesting. I love the name Stoken, come on. I want a Stoken, a Hero, BitShares, all this stuff. Great names, very fun. EOS too, right? I mean, is it EOS or EOS?
We call it EOS.
Because that's cool. And I got to tell you, didn't Michael Jackson do something at Universal or at one of the theme parks? And wasn't it Captain EOS?
Well, EOS is the Greek word for the dawn.
I think it was Captain EOS that Michael Jackson did. We're going to have to look that one up.
I don't know where he came up with the word. It could mean anything.
The dawn.
Some people think it means Ethereum on steroids. Guessing what it is. They're not telling us what they meant by it, but I hear lots of theories. I note that the words OS are in it, like operating system, and it is an operating system for blockchains. So maybe it's EOS instead of eShares or iTunes or whatever.
Okay, all right.
It could be anything, but they didn't tell me, and I don't know.
I love it. And that'll be another show talking about EOS or EOS. And by the way, I think it's Captain EO. I think it was Captain EO with Michael Jackson.
There you go.
I think it was Captain EO. But anyway, just one more question before we go, and that is getting into BitShares. I mean, what do you feel the future is there? I mean, I want to get my people excited. I want Blue Rockers to be very excited. I mean, of course, everybody's going to say, oh, it's going to be great, it's going to do well, buy in. But, when you mention, hey, these are the things you want to check out, who are these people that are backing this stuff up, before you go ahead and buy something? Can you talk to them? Can you see them? Can you find out who they are? Do they have a face? Do they have a name? And here you are, the godfather of BitShares,
Yeah,
you're able to
maybe,
talk about it. I know where you are. You're in an office with a red room. You're in a flannel shirt, and you can easily go and put your bib overalls on too, and go hang out on the farm, right? So
yeah,
we know where you are.
yeah, it's not necessarily good that I have a face in this case, but at least I'm here.
But how do you see BitShares going?
Well, obviously it's all about adoption. And so I spend my days going around doing things to cause adoption. And one thing is our billionherocampaign.com is a place where we've created a fun contest, and we're giving away $1 billion. That's one way to get adoption, is to have people come play our game, learn how to use the system, help pick who gets the money that we're giving away.
Well, you had me at $1 billion. Come on.
Yeah, and so that is a way to get adoption. But I also just this past week talked to 3 CEOs of 3 major companies and told them the whole story about BitShares and what it could do for their businesses. All 3 of them said, we want in. So we're currently negotiating contracts to bring really exciting new coins. I can't talk about them right now, but they're going to be pumping some real value into the Bitcoin or BitShares universe.
BitShares.
And,
Yeah, you better get that right now.
Yeah, I
BitShares.
was confused. I don't know why. Even after all.
Don't mess with us any more than we're already messed up.
And so there's another whole session we could do about the strategy that they have for investing into BitShares as part of their overall how they manipulate their revenue stream, and that would be a different topic for a different day. But all of those things are things we're working along behind the scenes to bring more demand to buy BitShares to drive up the price. And so I could say I've probably got a dozen of those things, torpedoes in the water, I call them. And if just one of those torpedoes hits, Katie, bar the door.
I love it. Well, I'm here with you. I'm following along. Blue Rockers, I hope you are as well. We've got some, I want you Blue Rockers to stick around. I'm going to have many more videos with Stan for you guys to watch. Also check the CryptoConnie playlist so that you can see some of the past ones that we've already put together. Check down below in the description, see how you can get yourself a BitShares wallet. Also, the other things that we've been talking about, the links will all be down below. Also, follow me on STEEM It. I'm also going to put Stan's URL for STEEM It as well, right? Is it called a URL, your address, so that people can follow you too? I think that's only fair, right? And we're going to let you go, Stan, because you got a big, you're going on a cruise. So when you go on this cruise, let me ask you, are you a bow tie guy? Because you kind of remind me of like a bow tie guy. I can see you in a bow tie. Are you a bow tie guy?
I did go to a lot of dances in the 70s wearing a big velvet bow tie.
Oh, and the velvet, no less. Was it like that crush velvet? Is that?
Yeah. Big and flamboyant with a ruffled shirt. Yeah, those were the days.
And like a blue color probably too, right? Some sort of blue.
Oh, you got it.
That's a true blue rocker, becoming one and not knowing it at the time. So, Stan Larimer, the godfather of BitShares, CryptoConnie here. It's BitShares now, and more to come here with Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. So long for now.
3,